episode number 26.
You are listening to the More Than a Lawyer podcast with your host, Janine Esbrand. I'm here to help lawyers and mums to thrive in their careers and motherhood. I share tips, strategies and inspirational conversation with awesome women to help you reduce the struggle in your juggle.
Hello, and welcome to the show on this very lovely sunny bank holiday Monday here in the UK. I love it when the weather's great. It really boosts my mood. So I'm happy to be here. You've probably heard and seen a lot in the press about returnships and women returners recently. I'm really happy that this is a hot topic because too many talented women are not using the skills and experiences that they have due to there being too many barriers to re-entry to the workforce after being on maternity leave or taking some other type of career break. The UK government pledged earlier on this year that they were going to spend £5 million on supporting women returning to work, and today we saw the launch of some new returnship programs for people working in civil service roles. So we're making some progress. Formalised returnship programs are fantastic, but they tend to focus on people that have been on an extended career break, so people that are trying to get back into the workforce and are looking for a new role or new position within a new organisation. But what about those people that are returning to work after maternity leave? So those people that are going back to their previous jobs and they want to have a smooth transition back. Making the transition from being a highly successful, driven, ambitious, professional woman to being a working parent can be really tough, and so for many lawyers, returning to work after maternity leave is a transition that takes some getting used to. There seems to be a lack of resources to support people in that transition, so that they feel that they can balance the demands of work and family life effectively, and so that they don't get to 6 months after returning to work and then feel like they can't do this and then end up leaving the profession. So that's why I created the Smooth Return course. It's a 4-week interactive online course for lawyers and other female professionals. The course takes you through the fundamental aspects of preparing for a smooth transition back to work and really focuses on those first 90 days, the first 3 months of you getting back into work, because that's going to lay the foundation for your working parent life. We touch on understanding your values and making sure that they are aligned with the work that you're doing, your post-baby identity, your career vision, where is it that you want to go now in your career, logistics, how do you make it work, how do you organise yourself with childcare, with meal planning, with just setting yourself up for success in terms of the day-to-day. How do you leverage your strengths so that you're able to still make an impact without spending as much time as you used to in the office? And then pulling it all together, what are you going to do? What steps are you going to take over the next 90 days to make it all work? I'm really excited to get going. We're getting started on the 29th of October 2017. So if you are ready to head back to work after maternity leave, then I'd love for you to join us. For more information, you can go over to lightboxcoaching.com/smooth-return-course. Okay, so on to today's content. I want to share with you 5 ways that you can prepare for a first-class return to work experience. And when I say first class, I mean an experience where you feel confident and you feel competent and ready to get back into the swing of things quickly and really make an impact in the first few months that you're back in the office. Tip number 1, set up a lunch or coffee meeting with a work colleague. You want to speak to somebody from your team or your department so that you can get the rundown on what's been happening in the office while you've been away. The current objectives of your team and any specific challenges that everyone is facing right now, because when you understand the current challenges, you'll be able to focus your efforts so that you can make sure that you're making a difference in those areas when you return. So you really want to just get an idea of how the land lies and what you've missed out on while you've been away. Number 2 is that you want to set a 90-day goal. So your first 3 months back in the office are going to set the tone for your return and the way that you're going to feel about your return and how successful you are going to feel in the whole transition. So what you want to do is bear in mind the information that you gathered in step 1, so the information that you gathered from your work colleague, and then you want to think about one thing that you would like to achieve in the first 90 days back in the office. So it could be you want to land one new client, or you want to bill a certain amount of money, you want to build relationships with a new client, or you want to be seen as an expert. Again, whatever it is, the goal needs to be a SMART one. So I've talked about SMART goals before in the podcast, but for those of you that are new to SMART goals, they are goals which are specific, measurable, actionable, realistic, and timed. So you really want to go deep with the goal so that you know for sure what it's going to look like when you achieve that goal. And having it is going to give you some focus and some direction when you get back, because it can take a while for your workload to build up and for you to get back into the swing of work. But having this goal in mind is going to help you to make sure that you're maximizing your time, and where you have got a lull, you can focus your efforts on things that are going to move you one step closer towards that goal. Tip number 3 is boost your confidence. Let's face it, if you've been out of the office for a while and your days have been very different, they may have been filled with nappy changes and nursery rhymes and play dates galore, then going back into the office and having to have your technical legal brain on is going to be going to feel like a challenge. You might think, oh, I've forgotten everything and I'll be unable to perform as well when I return. That baby brain is just going to take over and I'm not going to be able to remember anybody's names, much less be able to cite law. Well, I want to say to you that you haven't forgotten everything. It's all there. It's all in your brain's archives. You just need to sift through what's in there and just bring it to the forefront, because the likelihood is that you've been out of the game for a lot less time than you were in the game previously. Here's what I want you to do. Grab a pen and paper and write down all of the things that you have done well in the past. Now, if you've been practicing for many, many years, that could be a really long list. But I want you to just write down the things that come to mind, things that you received client praise about. So transactions that you worked on, cases that you worked on, things that people came to you and said. I'm talking colleagues, I'm talking past clients. Any positive feedback that you've received and you can remember, I want you to write it down. And then I want you to reflect on your positive performance and the skills that you do have. Doing that is going to remind you that you have a lot to offer, and you will feel a boost in your confidence as you prepare to go back. Okay, number 4 is to connect with clients and referral partners. So when you are in the throes of work and you're really busy, it's hard to make time for business development and networking. It sometimes becomes that thing that's an afterthought when there's a quiet period. That's when you turn your attention to it. But now is a good time for you to focus your energies. You have time now as you're preparing for your return, so you can spend some time leveraging the power of social media and connect with your clients. Now is such a great time for you to leverage social media. I think lawyers are not necessarily taking the opportunity to use social media in a way that's going to advance their careers and in the way that's going to develop business. Social media is not just about posting pictures of your holidays or your favorite food or places that you want to go. There are so many people out there that are using it to build their businesses and to bring in clients, and so you can do the same. You can be using LinkedIn, which is an absolute goldmine for any professional. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whichever social media platforms you feel comfortable on and that you think your clients are going to be on. But I would say LinkedIn is the primary one, and I've done some training on LinkedIn, and it's something that I want to help lawyers to find out more about, because it's definitely a resource that people aren't using enough. But we'll talk about that on another podcast. Social media is definitely a great way that you can connect with clients, especially because you're home and you just need to get online, really. So you can see what your clients are up to via social media. You can just be in the know about developments by checking out their Twitter feed or checking out their LinkedIn posts. You can find out a lot about where a client's at, and then you've got some great conversation starters when you first start connecting with your clients, and they're going to feel loved. They're going to feel like you're paying attention to them, and they're going to feel special, and you're going to feel as though you're able to reach out to them and connect with them, not just saying how are you, but being able to be more specific and asking them specific questions about the projects that they're working on. So definitely use social media to connect with clients, and similarly with referral partners. So if you've got contacts in other industries that are aligned with your practice area that could potentially refer you work, then you want to start looking at what they're up to and reaching out to them and seeing if you can arrange to meet, have a conversation, whatever it is, to bring you front of mind as a contact of theirs that may be able to help their client. And then the last one that I want to share is to be present at home and at work. So when you go back after you've had a break, especially if this is your first baby that you've had, it can be difficult to draw the line between work and family life, and sometimes you might feel guilty when you're at work and feel guilty when you're at home. But I want to encourage you to just be present wherever you are. So if you're at work, then pay attention to being at work, and if you're at home, then pay attention to being at home, so you can fully appreciate and you can fully enjoy the moments that you have in both places. And just if you're someone that needs to take a time out, so that you can kind of get into work mode and get into mummy mode, then find out where best works for you. So if you have a route that you take to work, then maybe taking a few minutes just to kind of exhale and just let go of the day that you've had at work, and then prepare yourself for going home, or vice versa. So really just think about, or how can I make the most of my time where I'm at? So my time when I'm at work, and then my time when I'm at home. That's going to help you to reduce some of the mum guilt, and for you to feel like you are juggling well, that you are doing both roles well. So those are the 5 tips I have for you. If you want to go further and you want to walk away with a clear 90-day plan for your transition back to work, then I invite you to join us on the Smooth Return course, which starts on the 29th of October 2017. I will be hosting the course, and as you know, I am a fellow lawyer. I'm also a certified life and career coach, and I am a mama of 2 little ones, so I know exactly what it's like to transition into work after maternity leave. So join me and a group of awesome women who are walking a mile in your shoes as we pin down your post-baby career plan and get you feeling confident and calm as you return to work. If you want to know more about the course, then please head over to lightboxcoaching.com/smooth-return-course, and you can get more information and put your name down on the waitlist. Alright, that's all that I have for you today. I hope you found those tips on returning to work useful, and if you did, please do share the episode with friends and leave a rating and review in iTunes. It's really helpful to have more people leave reviews so that more women just like you can find the show and join in the conversation. As always, I like to connect with my listeners, so if you want to connect and you have any comments about today's episode, then drop me a line at janine@lightboxcoaching.com, or you can join the Being More Than a Lawyer Facebook group where we continue the conversation over there. Alright, that's all from me today. I hope you have a wonderful week and look after you and look after your babies. Bye.
The More Than a Lawyer podcast features music by Ben Sound.